Well, good morning. It is May 28th. We've got our first fire going. So now camp's official. Biggest thing today on the agenda is getting some firewood gathered up. We found a few camps yesterday, some bigger stuff, but if I get it back here, we can use the chainsaw on them. But the weather is more than you can ask for. Just a little bit of breeze to there, but keeps the smoke out of our eyes anyways. So first things first, we're gonna cook a breakfast in the pie iron. Let me get the iron there on the coals and get her warmed up, and well, hopefully this recipe's a good one. We'll find out. See you in a bit. Okay. Well, we got a good bed of coals there. Get that iron on there and let her get nice and hot. Well, first thing, let's wipe these out. Not dirty, they just got a little road residue in it. Mostly dust. So. And give it a good quick spray. What I thought I'd try is a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Don't mind the little charcoal on my hand. I've tried washing it off. I can't get it off there. It's just carbon. It won't hurt anybody. Get this sausage cooked up. Then we'll move to the next. Oh, I can hear that sizzling in there. Man, look at that. There's our egg. First one screwed up on, but the dogs need to eat too. Hey, look at that, that came out just perfect. Now the part that I've never done before. That is a Pillsbury Grand Biscuit. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's see what we did. Don't look too bad. Now we just gotta, that's hot. So there's our biscuit. Let it cool down just a bit. That thing's hot. Still just a little doughy inside, which is fine because we got to put this back on the fire. A little chunk of cheese. Put the biscuit back on top. Well, that's the finished product right there. Need a little more practice with it. Okay, come on, dogs. Suki. There you go. And we have to wait for Bambi. She's got a smaller mouth than the other ones, or that's her excuse. Got that big old bull moose there. Out feeding away in the eastern daisies. Well, Suki must have seen him. Yeah, we'll leave him be and head on down the road. That's quite a load of wood. That's all Quakey aspen. One of the best smelling firewoods you can burn. So yeah, I'm gonna grab it. I thought I'd just show this nice little campsite right along the banks of the river there. It is hot down here. We're down here at the mouth of the canyon. You can see all the leaves are full size down here. Kind of interesting that you go through so many zones just going back up the camp. And most of the flowers here have kind of faded off, but up there another mile, nothing but arrowleaf balsamroot, and little bluebells, and all kinds of other flowers. And then where we're camped at, you got all the Easter daisies, and the leaves are just barely coming out on the Quakies up there. But we know what we're here for. You know the drill. We're just going to load all this up and hit all the little spots on the way back to camp. Yeah, there's a lot of water coming down. Here in another month, it'll be half of this. Suki finally got in the water. That's the first time I've seen her get in the water. Trying to do, eat a rock, huh? And what would it be like to be young and so full of energy as that thing? she can really go. My two little old dogs are just getting old, I guess. Cute little blue butterfly right there. Well, let's get this wood loaded and start heading back to camp so we can cook dinner. Well, I don't know what it is with dogs and tables. They sure like them. Little Miss Bambi really likes sitting on them for some reason. I think since she's so short, she picks out the highest vantage point she can find. But man, did we find a nice camp spot here. I've been by this thing several times, never have ever stopped to see what's in there, but right on a big S bend of the river. It's like Suki found something to eat. See the creek way back there snaking around them trees. Comes out the big old hole here and then some little rapid area. Boy, is it nice in here. This is a perfect spot for the early spring up here. Right in all the cottonwoods. So we'll start heading back to camp and see anything else interesting, we'll stop and let you see it. But I think we need to get back and start preparing for dinner. I think a beef stew sounds pretty dang good tonight in the Dutch oven. Well, here comes the rain. Starting to get a few sprinkles on us. Bambi's little ears are going to melt off. They're already starting to droop from it. But man, if you could smell the smell of that rain coming in. Yeah, coming off these cottonwood and quakey leaves and the sagebrush. Quite the smell. Well, should we head back to camp, little girl? Huh? You ready to? Are you? Okay. Let's get going then. Well, I told you we'd stop if we found something interesting. Just kind of glanced out my window and seen it. You see that little currant bush there. And man, is it loaded with blooms. The only problem with it, there's a whole nest of tent caterpillars on it. These nasty little things will build this big cobweb of a tent. They've kind of outgrown their home right now. Or they spin that little tent and strip all the foliage off the bush or trees. They're doing their little wiggle dance there. That's their defense, I guess, for when you get close to them. They are a nasty little critter. Well, this is the Lodge cast iron Dutch oven, 10 quart, with the pheasant design on it. Let's see if we can cook our stew in this, since the weather looks pretty threatening out there right now. Oh, looks like my Dutch oven had some babies. And we're going to start by melting some butter in it. And I'm just going to brown up a bunch of stew meat. Well, while that stew meat's browning, we're going to cut up a couple carrots. Well, that meat's browning up nicely. Now it's time to remove it, put it on a plate. Well, we add a little bit of flour and make a little roux. A little milk to it. Add a couple cups of water with it. And we'll add our potatoes and carrots. The secret ingredient, just some brown gravy mix. We can add back our meat. And we'll bring this back up to heat. Well, I didn't show it, but I added I don't know, a handful of these little shiitake mushrooms. It's actually a snack. I thought it would taste good in here. They're freeze dried, so they've been soaking in water most of the morning. We'll see how they turn out. I gotta cover it up and let it do its magic. Well, another little update. I added some onions. I put them in just as the carrots are just starting to get a little tender. And finish it off, we're going to be putting some of this Kinder's cowboy butter in there. And next time we'll see it, it'll be in a bowl. Well guys, I think it's done. Turn the heat off of it. Well, let's see if we can get some of this in a dish. One-handed. Well guys, I don't know if you can see this or not, but holy heck. It sure smells good. We'll find out what it tastes like. It's very good. Try a little piece of the beef. That meat wasn't tough despite all that chewing. It was so dang hot. I could hardly keep it on my teeth long enough. But no, it's really good. Next time you try a beef stew, add that roux and some milk to it. It really makes a nice sauce to it. Well, we're going to see if the dogs like their food as much as I did. Had to build a smudge there because the mosquitoes are so dang bad. Okay, here we go. Here, Bams. Here's Storm. Hurry, Bambi, right there. Right here. Well, Bambi likes it. Storm likes it, and so does Suki. I don't know if Storm doesn't care much for the mushrooms, but you need some help with that piece of meat. There. Yeah, looks like the beef stew's a hit. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Kind of a busy day for us. Mosquitoes are so dang bad out here. Bambi had to go in. Her little round head was just peppered with mosquito bites, the poor thing. She won't let me put any mosquito repellent on her, so Storm's kind of used to that stuff. She gets doused down with tick repellent every time we go to the archery range, so. But anyways, we had a heck of a busy day. No time for the bike ride at all, which is okay. Made a heck of a beef stew. Probably the best I've ever ate. Now if I just recreate it again. Thing of note though, those mushrooms, although they add a lot of flavor to it, I would break them up into smaller pieces before I cook them again. But if you liked what you see, give me a thumbs up, comment and share. And until next time, see you later.